Great, thanks. Call me Ben. I'm really excited to speak this morning, and I asked Chanel what she was going to talk about, because I'm just going to pick right up from where she left off. So Chanel's going to attract all these teachers to Detroit, and then I want to spend a little bit of time today talking about how DPSCD can take those teachers into our ranks, but then retain them. Because if we don't retain them, we're going to keep having to cycle through and attract teachers over and over again. I want to start briefly and just talk about our strategic plan for the Detroit Public Schools Community District. So our Blueprint 2020 lays out a number of strategic priorities. One of those is outstanding achievement. We have transformative culture, whole child commitment, and responsible stewardship. But we know that none of those are going to be possible unless we actually have exceptional talent, which is why it's risen to the ranks as one of the key strategic priorities for our superintendent and for our district. We've made some progress on this in the district. So when it comes to exceptional talent over the last year, we have reformed compensation. We know that's important for teachers. So one of the things we've been able to do is actually match teachers' external years of experience as they're coming into the district when we compensate them. That's not something we were able to do previously. We've also offered at-scale professional development for all of our teachers as we roll out new curriculums. So we're marrying our talent efforts with our instructional efforts. And then finally, we've invested in a new role called a master teacher, which is an opportunity for great teachers to move into a leadership position and coach their colleagues without having to move into an administrative position if they want to look to grow. As a result, we've improved. So we've received over 1,400 teacher applications over this last recruiting season, which is up from where we've been in the past. Our vacancies are down, but we still have a lot of work to do. And I think one of the reasons why we have a lot of work to do is because we continue to not hold on to some of the great teachers that we have year in and year out. So we've got to make sure, one of the ways that we do that is our principals have to become better talent managers. So we need our principals to actually go out and tell the story of the district, tell the story of the school, and build a network of great instructional expertise that's going to come to their school, because at the end of the day, teachers come work for a principal or for a culture in a school. They don't work for the district or the city. We have to, and the last point here is where I'm going to spend the last couple of minutes, we have to also identify our top performers and make sure that we retain and grow them over the course of the next several years. So this is research that comes from my prior organization, TNTP. They released a report called The Irreplaceables a few years ago, but I think it still rings true, which is why I wanted to service it today. When we looked at school districts around the country, and this is still true, school districts retain top performers and low performers at about the same rate. You can see District D there on the right. There's only a 1% difference in their attrition or in their retention rate between top performers and low performers. And yet, when a school leaves a top performing teacher, one of those top 20%, those top quintile teachers, an average school only has a 1 in 6 chance of actually replacing them with someone of comparable quality. If you're a low performing school, one of those red dots that Jack showed you earlier, you actually have a 1 in 11 chance. So losing a top performing teacher can be devastating to an entire school building, which is why we need to make sure that we hold on to them. And this attrition is often preventable. So we hear all the time that when teachers leave, there's nothing we can do about it. Well, we talk to a lot of these high-performing teachers that were leaving school districts, and we ask them, what are you doing next? And most of the reasons why they were leaving are actually preventable. So most teachers that are high-performing that are leaving are either going to teach in the same geographical area, take another role in K-12, or going to school or changing schools. Now, some of that may be unpreventable, and there's other things. People move away, they have family commitments they have to take care of, but this is actually something we can address. And when we talk to those high-performing teachers, 3 out of 4 of them said if their top reason for leaving actually changed, they would stay 1 more year. And I raise that because, like Chanel, I was a teacher at one point who made the decision to leave teaching. And there were some things that just didn't work out for me in the school building where I was teaching, and that's part of the reason why I left. If that had changed, I probably would have stayed for another 2, 3, 4 years. One of the things I love to talk about when it comes to retention is the employee value proposition that we have to put together when we're talking about attracting and retaining teachers. School districts and schools do a great job of focusing on the mission and fit side, right? Come teach these students, it's a calling, we know you're going to do a great job. We don't spend as much time talking about working environment, total compensation rewards, and professional growth and advancement. When it comes to working environment, by the way, and school culture, that can be an incredible lever for talent, or for principals as talent managers to recruit and retain the top teachers that they have. In fact, attrition rates are actually 50% higher at schools with weak culture compared to schools with strong culture, which is kind of a duh thing to say, but it actually matters a ton. So what do you do about it? Well, that same report that Irreplaceables highlighted a few low-cost retention strategies that principals can use on any given day, really. I'll list those here. I won't read them all, but I will call out recognition piece, because these really are just free, and principals can do this. And when teachers experience at least 2 of these, they're more likely to stay in the profession for 2 to 6 years. And those 2 in the recognition are recognizing my accomplishments publicly and informing me that I'm high performing. One of the best things that principals can do is actually just find a great teacher, say, you're awesome. I need you to stay next year. We're doing some great things with the school, and this is how you fit into that plan. And that alone can actually make teachers stay for 1 additional year, but it's something that our principals and our leaders are not doing enough of. Thank you.